yeah, 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 yeah. Watch me, watch me. Yeah, 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 hey, yeah. Watch me climb until I finally reach the height. Golden chains are shining in the city, neon light. Keep the vision focused within my very clear sight. Everything I touch will turn out incredibly super bright. Stepping in the booth, I enter my focus zone. Every single king eventually will claim his heavy throne. Built this solid empire out of every single stone. Do not try to reach me on my private phone. Giving every ounce of energy to win this game. Chasing after legacy and not the fleeting cheap fame. Lighting up the world with my very bright flame. Everyone across the globe will recognize my short name. Always moving forward in my own very unique way. I am coming for the top and here to stay. This is not a hobby or some little play. Working every night so all the bills finally pay. Pushing through the pressure with my heavy motor drive. Watching all my brothers and my sisters finally thrive. Feeling like a legend who is very much alive. Into all the deep end I will bravely dive. Breaking every chain so I can finally be free. Look at all the beauty that I truly see. Letting every seed to grow a massive money tree. Locking up the wind because I hold the key. Always hungry for the win and asking for more. Leaving all the doubters lying on a cold floor. Listen to the engine let out a loud roar. Breaking down the frame of every single locked door. Moving with a liquid and a very heavy flow. Never let the energy or the vibe get low. Check the diamond jewelry and the very bright glow. Now it is the time for the main show. Burning like a heavy and a very distant star. Driving to the limit in my custom racing car. Setting every standard and I raise the high bar. Look how we have traveled and have come far. Dripping in the water in the very heavy ice. Success is never cheap because I pay the price. Everything I wear is looking very clean and nice. I will never think about the same thing twice. I have got a million different moves to make. Leave the competition in my very heavy white weight. Watch the heavy foundation of the whole world shake. Everything I want is what I finally will take. Wrapping up the wind in a layer of gold. Heart is made of iron and it stays cold. Making every move because I am extremely bold. This is not a story that was ever told. Seeing all the vision in the shade of red. Keep the crown sitting on my very own head. My family is happy and they are well fed. Follow where the heavy path is finding now led. Nobody can tell me what these heavy words mean. Keep the entire image looking very sharp and clean. Focus on the paper and the very dark green. I am now the king of the entire scene. Proving to the world that I am the best. Flying all the way to the very far west. Carrying the heavy weight up on my very wide chest. I will never stop and take a little rest. Doing everything and I am doing just fine. Crossing over every single thin and yellow line. Watch the way the silver will begin to shine. Everything I wanted is finally and truly now mine. Every single song is a very massive radio hit. I will never slow down for a little bit. Keep the entire building looking very bright and lit. Wearing every designer and it is a perfect fit. To the heavy and the very loud sound. Keep my heavy feet on the very hard ground. Making every single heavy and a rhythmic loud pound. I am finally the leader who is glory bound. Watch the way the heavy smoke will slowly rise. Keep my focus heavy on the very big prize. Looking at the world with my very own eyes. Older people tell me that I am very wise. Everything is going and it is going quite well. Breaking out of every single dark and lonely cell. Ringing every single loud and the heavy gold bell. I have risen up from where the others fell. Counting up the heavy and the very green cash. Watch the way the cameras will begin to flash. Making every move in the very quick fast dash. Building up a wave that will finally now crash. Standing at the top of the very high peak. Never let the people see that I am weak. Listen to the truth that I will always speak. Finding every treasure that I will always now see. Moving through the city and I move very fast. Making sure the legacy will always truly now last. Leaving all the shadows in the very dark past. Even for the stars in a very big blast. Now it is the time to finally go out. Hear the way the people will begin to shout. Eliminating every single heavy and the lingering dark doubt. This is what the entire life is truly about. Look at the mirror and see a true king. Every morning I wake up and do my thing. Hear the bell of the city start to ring. Spread out the heavy feathers of my gold wing. Hunger is the only meal that I ever ate. Never showing up to the party, fashion unquestionably too late. Mentally, I am living in a very wealthy state. Like the negative energy right outside the front gate. Watch out, all of my diamonds start to glow. Moving with a very heavy and a steady flow. Giving everyone exactly what they wanted to show. This is the only life that I truly know. Neon colors making the whole entire city look bright. Electric energy is moving through the flashes of light. Keeping the massive vision within my own clear sight. Climbing up the ladder to a brand new height. Every single day I'm staying on my grind. Leaving all the toxic people way far back behind. Peace is the only thing I need to find. Keeping all the focus inside of my sharp mind. Working hard until I finally get a massive pay. Doing everything in my own very specific, unique way. Knowing that the top is where I will stay. Dominating every second of my busy and long day. Fueling up the engine for a very long drive. Feeling like I'm finally and truly very alive. Watching how the garden of my efforts will thrive. Staying at the office past the hour of 5. Chasing after legacy and not just for the fame. Changing up the rules of the entire global game. Making sure that everybody remembers my very own name. Energy is wild and it is hard to tame. I do not hide any of my battle scars. Looking up at all the bright and distant stars. Driving very fast in some of the expensive cars. Dropping heavy wisdom inside of these melodic music bars. Finally I feel that I'm completely and free. Nobody can ever dictate what happens to just me. Sailing on the rough waves of a deep sea. Growing tall and strong like a very old tree. Living every bit of passion from my inner soul. Keeping my eyes fixed on the very final goal. Taking back the power and my own full control. Playing in the movie with the very lead role. Making every single move and always acting very bold. Turning everything I touch into a pile of gold. My integrity is something that will never be sold. Pressure is the reason that the weak people fold. I will never let my spirit ever truly break. Thinking of the massive moves I have to make. Grabbing every single opportunity that I can possibly take. Leaving ripples on the surface of a deep lake. Looking at the vision and it is very clear. I have forgotten how it feels to have fear. Knowing that the moment of my victory is near. These are the only words that I should hear. Catching every second of this very heavy vibe. Rolling with the members of my very loyal tribe. Writing down the story like a very ancient scribe. Honesty is something that no person can ever rap. Staying very young and staying very, very, very wild. Dreaming like I used to as a small child. My ambition is never going to be very mild. Look at all the money that is being piled. Freaking all the energy and reaching up so high. Painting several colors on the canvas of the sky. Spreading in my wings because I finally can fly. I'm gonna be a very successful guy. Mentally and physically I am becoming more than strong. I've been waiting for this moment very long. Singing out the lyrics of my very favorite song. Proving to the world that they were all wrong. Walking to the rhythm of a very heavy beat. Dealing with the pressure and the very high heat. Running every single corner of the very busy street. Tasting all the victory because it is so sweet. But the world from a very different view. Everything I am doing is something fresh and new. Always staying grounded and always staying very, very true. Deciding all the things that I must always do. Walking down the center of my very own path. Calculating all the numbers like I am doing math. Nobody can handle all the power of my rap. Dipping into luxury like a very warm, expensive bag. Climbing all the way until I reach the top. I have a momentum that will never ever stop. Waiting for the heavy bass to finally just drop. Feeling like a bubble that is really gonna pop. Making sure this energy is always gonna last. Leaving all the shadows in the very distant past. Moving through the traffic and I am driving past. Looking at the shadows that the giant trees cast. Hunger for the life because I really want more. Opening the lock on a very heavy iron door.